Western elk hunting has a way of exposing the truth about equipment. It exposes it in thin air. It exposes it in crosswinds. It exposes it at 320 yards when the animal doesn't stop broadside. Because elk are not whitetails. They are heavier through the shoulder, thicker through the muscle, and far less forgiving of marginal penetration. Every season, hunters show up with flat-shooting rifles and impressive ballistic charts. And every season, some of those charts fail when impact velocity drops, wind pushes the bullet off center, or expansion occurs too rapidly on heavy bone. The question isn't which calibers look good on paper. Let's examine the calibers that Western elk hunters rely on, not for speed, but for margin. Number 1. 300 Winchester Magnum. If one cartridge dominates Western elk discussions, it's the 300 Winchester Magnum. Typical elk loads range from 180 to 200 grains, often leaving the muzzle at 2,900 to 3,000 feet per second. This combination produces strong energy retention at extended distances, an important factor in open Western terrain where shots beyond 300 yards are common. Wind drift remains manageable due to high ballistic coefficients combined with velocity. In mountain environments where crosswinds are unpredictable, this matters significantly. Penetration is where the 300 Win Mag earns trust. With bonded or monolithic bullets, it maintains structural integrity through heavy shoulder bone and steep quartering angles. Elk are known for absorbing lung shots and traveling considerable distance. Penetration reserve reduces that risk. Recoil is substantial and shooter discipline becomes critical. However, experienced elk hunters often accept recoil in exchange for consistent terminal authority. The 300 Win Mag is trusted because it offers distance capability without sacrificing penetration. It provides forgiveness when shot angles are not ideal. But not every hunter wants Magnum recoil, which leads to the next trusted option. Number 2, 30 Endro 6 Springfield. The 30-06 remains one of the most trusted elk cartridges in the West for one reason: versatility. Typical bullet weights for elk range from 165 to 200 grains at velocities between 2,650 and 2,150 feet per second. While slightly slower than Magnum offerings, it delivers meaningful mass and adequate energy retention within ethical distances. Wind drift is slightly greater than the 300 Win Mag at extended range, but inside 400 yards, differences are often manageable with proper wind calls. Penetration reliability is strong with well-constructed bullets. The 30-06 has enough sectional density to drive through heavy muscle and bone when bullet design is appropriate. Recoil is more moderate than Magnum cartridges, improving shooter consistency and follow-up shot control. Western elk hunters trust the 30-06 because it performs reliably without pushing recoil to uncomfortable levels. It may not dominate ballistic charts, but it operates comfortably within elk-killing thresholds. Still, some hunters prefer a cartridge that balances aerodynamic efficiency with manageable recoil. Number 3. 7mm Remington Magnum. The 7mm Remington Magnum approaches elk hunting from a slightly different angle: velocity and aerodynamic efficiency. Typical bullet weights for elk range from 160 to 175 grains, with velocities often exceeding 2,900 feet per second. High ballistic coefficients reduce wind drift and flatten trajectory at extended ranges. In Western terrain where shots may stretch across canyons or open basins, this efficiency becomes valuable. Penetration depends heavily on bullet construction. With controlled expansion or bonded bullets, the 7mm Magnum delivers sufficient depth for elk-sized animals while maintaining strong downrange velocity. Recoil is less than heavier .30 caliber Magnums, though still significant. For hunters who value extended range consistency with slightly reduced recoil compared to .300 Magnums, this cartridge offers a balanced option. Western hunters trust the 7mm Magnum because it reduces wind uncertainty while maintaining adequate penetration when bullet choice is disciplined. However, some hunters prefer even heavier projectiles for additional momentum on large bulls. Number 4. .338 Winchester Magnum. The .338 Winchester Magnum represents a clear commitment to penetration reserve. Typical elk loads range from 210 to 225 grains at velocities between 2,650 and 2,800 feet per second. The heavier bullet mass significantly increases momentum compared to mid-caliber cartridges. Wind drift remains controlled due to high ballistic coefficients, and retained energy at extended distances remains strong. Penetration reliability through shoulder bone and steep quartering angles is where the .338 stands out. Elk are large-bodied animals, and the ability to drive a bullet through heavy muscle and into vital organs consistently is a major advantage. Recoil is heavy and requires familiarity. Lightweight mountain rifles can amplify recoil impulse, affecting shooter comfort. Western elk hunters who choose the .338 do so intentionally. They value penetration insurance and want a cartridge that operates well within its limits rather than near them. Yet not every elk hunt requires Magnum-level recoil, which is why a highly balanced cartridge continues to hold strong support. Number 5. 300 WSM. The .300 Winchester Short Magnum delivers Magnum performance in a more compact rifle platform. Typical bullet weights mirror the .300 Win Mag, 180 to 200 grains, with comparable velocities. Energy retention and wind performance remain strong, especially in open country. Penetration with proper bullet construction is reliable for elk-sized game. The shorter action allows for lighter rifle configurations, which many mountain hunters appreciate during long hikes at elevation. Recoil remains similar to other .300 Magnums, but rifle design and weight influence perceived impulse. Western elk hunters trust the .300 WSM because it combines portability with authority. It provides extended range capability while maintaining enough mass and velocity to handle heavy bone encounters. Western elk hunting rewards cartridges that operate with margin, not at the edge of their performance envelope. The calibers trusted in the field share common traits. Bullet mass sufficient for deep, consistent penetration. Retained energy at realistic Western hunting distances. Wind resistance in open terrain, reliable expansion across a wide velocity range. If you value this kind of measured, evidence-based firearm analysis, focused on what truly matters in the field, subscribe for future breakdowns. We will continue examining calibers, bullet design, and ballistic realities without exaggeration or marketing influence. Because when the wind is moving, the elevation is high, and a mature bull steps out at distance, confidence should come from physics, not assumption.